You and I were praising this young lad, Davide Ancelotti,
Indeed.
Son of Carlo, of course, who, like Carlo last night, was in the home technical area at Goodison. But it was not Everton. It was your friends, Manchester United, who prevailed. And now Everton, they had their sights set on getting to the Carabao Cup semi-final. The fans desperate to end a barren spell. 25 years since their 1995 FA Cup triumph over Manchester United, the last time they won a major trophy. Was this going to be their time? But no. And I would have thought there'll be a massive air of disappointment, Simon, around Finch Farm, around Everton this morning, albeit it was Manchester United. But albeit this was a big chance for them to get to a domestic cup semi-final, and they've blown it. There's no other way of saying it. They've blown it. That was a great opportunity.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity, but irrespective of my views on whether Man United will be ultimately successful with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they have very good players. The key is to make those players into a very good team consistently. So on any given day, Manchester United can probably beat anybody. And yesterday, it wasn't a case of Everton throwing it away. Manchester United took it away from them.
True. Manchester
United have better players. On the whole, on as I say, on a given day, they were probably pound for pound a better team than Everton. I don't think they've got a better manager, and I maintain that line despite people's feelings I've got some, pathological dislike of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I do not. Right? I just like to call things as I see them.
Right.
And I think Everton, were missing certain players. I think the loss of Richarlison didn't help their cause. I think they've lost some creativity with the boy from Real Madrid that's been out injured, James Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And I think a few other players that are not necessarily present in their side. I think a very good Everton had to be at their very best to be able to match Manchester United. I think when you've got to a quarter-final stage of a cup and you've got people on your back all the time, people like me and other people that are even more prevalent about the lack of success, then the players are going to really grasp the nettle in games like this. Cavani got them out of jail with a goal. I think 2-0 probably in the end was reflective of the chances in the game, but not really, over-egging the pudding in terms of Man United running away with it.
Yeah, well, he's done it to them recently as well.
Cavani is a goal scorer.
Yeah.
You get these players in and they score goals.
He'll score.
And it was a quality goal. It was at a time when Everton were getting a little bit tired. They got caught in possession, broke down. The two centre-halves were all over the place. Bang, goal.
Yeah.
And then they're out of the game.
Yeah. Of course, they knew. But the thing is, Simon, Everton knew what they were going up against last night because quite recently, and I went up there to Goodison, they got their noses in front against Manchester United, and the very same Cavani turned it around, and they ended up losing the game by 3-1. But you would have expected. I thought this was Everton's moment last night, and had they won that last night and got to the semi-finals, they really could begin of thinking this and ending this goal drought.
Possibly.
Quarter of a century, Simon, since they've won a cup.
I understood, but then you'd be sat there looking at them drawing Man City, and we'd be having a different conversation now about getting past Man City in the semi-finals. Look, it's one thing knowing what you're dealing with. It's another thing being able to deal with it. Manchester United have undoubtedly, whether I think players like Martial are not ones you'd want in the trenches when it gets really down and dirty and the muck and bullets start flying.
Yeah.
But, technically they're very good players and they can put it on you. And when you've got a player like Cavani that ultimately is coming to the end of his career, like a boxer, the last thing that goes is their punch. The last thing that will go with him is his ability to be able to take chances and score goals.
Yeah.
We look at it as a panic purchase from Manchester United at the end of the transfer window. No, it's somebody that will get them goals like Ibrahimovic got them goals. And he will get them 15 to 25 goals this season if he plays enough games.
Yeah.
And he will create anxiety in the minds of centre-halves because he's a prolific goal scorer. So going back to Everton's chance, 25 years, right? And in that 25 years, we've seen a real sea change in the fortunes and finances of football clubs. We've seen for 16 years of it, the Chelseas of the world land, or 17 years of it, land into English football with Abramovich pouring more money into it than anyone ever seen before.
Yeah.
For 12 years of it, we've seen Man City come along and do the same. And Everton have been caught sort of treading water for a period of time. They had a very sustainable period of success, moderate success, which would be considered quite significant success under David Moyes from 2001 onwards, where they got in and around the top 6, top 4 pretty regularly. But now they're into a different era, Everton. And I think over the ensuing years when they moved to the new stadium, with the continued ambition of Mashiri, with the insertion of Ancelotti, if he stays, remains focused and ambitious with Everton, you will start to see Everton maybe bridge that gap. And they won't make signings like £50 million. Sigurdsson is a good player, but he's not a £50 million player.
No.
And some of the transactions they've made, they've paid over the odds because of their eagerness to bridge that gap.
Yeah, indeed. So maybe an opportunity lost for Everton, but Manchester United march on. Mr. Jordan may have to eat his words about Manchester United not winning a trophy anytime soon.
Well, in fairness to me...
If they can overcome City, you're really beginning to sweat.
Of course, yeah. In fairness to me, my original observation was the only thing they'll win is the League Cup. Then I can't help myself. I then doubled down a week later and said they'll win nothing. Right? So I'm going to stay with they'll win nothing, but... It is getting a little bit closer, yes.